On September the 30th, 1955, 24-year-old actor James Dean lost his life in an automobile accident near Tullahoma, California. Dean, along with his auto mechanic, Rolf Wuethridge, driving his Porsche 550 Spyder to an auto rally in Salinas, California, where he intended to enter the race. Now, this is Dean at a service station shortly before the accident. And this is Dean and Rolf right before the crash. At 5:45 in the afternoon of September the 30th, 1955, college student Donald Turnipseed was attempting a left-hand turn here in his 1950 Ford when he pulled in front of the sports car driven by James Dean. Turnipseed said that he was blinded by the sun and didn't see Dean's car. The young actor had just finished a major picture with Rock Hudson and Elizabeth Taylor called Giant. It was Dean's opportunity to step into an adult role and leave the sultry, moody teenage roles behind. All the scenes on Giant were already complete. However, James Dean's last scene was a dialogue while supposedly being intoxicated. Dean thought that he should actually be drunk while performing the scene, that it would be more realistic. The problem was, some of his words were slurred and some of the lines were incoherent. The studio intended to have the actor come back and redo his lines. However, he lost his life before that could happen. The studio then brought in actor Nick Adams to imitate Dean's voice where it was needed. East of Eden is the only movie that James Dean got to see released to the public before his death. On January the 22nd, 2008 at 3:14 p.m., the body of 28-year-old actor Heath Ledger was found by his massage therapist on a routine visit, still in bed and at his loft apartment at 421 Broome Street, New York City, from an accidental prescription overdose of several different drugs. Ledger had played the Joker in The Dark Knight, where he had immersed himself in his role. It's believed that his role as the Joker affected his sleep, and he began taking prescription sleeping aids. Heath was at the time of his death starring in the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. At his death, the movie was only 1/3 of the way finished. The studio shut down production for several months, not knowing what to do. Then the director called 3 of Heath Ledger's closest friends, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell. They agreed to help with the movie as a memorial to their friend Heath Ledger. The director pulled a few secret tricks, plus a near body double of Ledger's and rewritten script. To Heath's memory, the credits state, "A film from Heath Ledger and friends." Johnny, Jude, and Colin donated their entire salary from the movie to Heath Ledger's daughter, Matilda, in order to ensure her financial security. In the early morning hours of July the 23rd, 1982, 53-year-old veteran actor Vic Morrow was on the set of Twilight Zone, the movie, at Indian Dunes in Valencia, California. Morrow had started his career back in 1955 with such movies as Blackboard Jungle, and in 1976, The Bad News Bears. He was also a star of a television show about World War II called Combat. But this morning, Vic Morrow was shooting a Vietnamese war scene with 2 child actors, 7-year-old Mickey Dean Leigh and 6-year-old Renee Chan. Morrow's character had just rescued the two youngsters from a concentration camp and was on the run from a pursuing helicopter. Special effects was using real explosives in the scenes. Now, although movies are not real, most moviegoers don't realize that the scenes are. When dangerous scenes are performed, that's why other actors recognize and praise their performance. The director kept calling for the helicopter pilot to get closer and closer to Morrow and the two kids. When the explosives was set off, it actually blew the copter that was flying too close to the scene out of the sky. Vic Morrow and the two young actors, Renee Chan and Mickey Dean Lay, lost their lives. There were 6 on the helicopter that was seriously injured. After months of court hearings, no one was found criminally liable. However, it is believed that the studio settled for an undetermined amount. Instead of hiring stand-ins and trying to finish with Morrow's character rescuing the children, it ended at the concentration camp with the ending left to the imagination. Producer Steven Spielberg said, "No movie is worth dying for." On May the 2nd, 1991, 61-year-old British actor Robert Oliver Reed was in Valletta, Malta, filming the movie Gladiator with Russell Crowe. Oliver Reed's breakthrough role was in the movie Oliver in 1968. In 1973, while performing a dueling scene in The Three Musketeers, Reed was accidentally stabbed in the throat. He almost died. It has been well known that Reed was known for his drinking bouts and barroom fights. That may be why he was so good and so believable in westerns like Return to Lonesome Dove. Now, during a break in the filming of Gladiator, Reed went with his wife Josephine along with some of his Maltese friends and a few Royal Navy sailors from the frigate HMS Cumberland were at a place called the Pub on Archbishop Street in Valletta. For fun, Reed even arm wrestled a few of the Royal sailors. He had promised the director, Ridley Scott, that he had not drank while filming. True to his word, that meant his drinking had to be held for the weekends. Oliver Reed had appeared in over 60 movies and numerous TV shows during his career. It shocked everyone when he collapsed to the floor with a heart attack. Mr. Reed passed away in the ambulance 10 minutes later on his way to the hospital. Co-star David Hemming, who played Cassius in the film, was a longtime friend of Oliver's, and he said that Reed had been sober for months before filming started. And he said that I had promised to look after him. Upon Reed's death, Hemming said, "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, old boy." For a few of the remaining scenes yet to be shot, director Scott decided to use a double for Reed and recreated his facial image by computer. The digital touch-up cost the studio $3 million. However, the picture grossed $187 million in the United States alone and won the Academy Award for Best Picture. On November the 15th, 1958, at the age of 44, actor Tyrone Power was in Madrid, Spain, filming a big-budget movie called Solomon and Sheba. Power had been a major star for years, usually playing heroic, swashbuckling roles, such as The Mark of Zorro in 1940 with Linda Darnell. He also starred with Marlene Dietrich in Witness for the Prosecution. Power, along with his wife Deborah, flew to Madrid to film Solomon and Sheba with Gina Lollobrigida as one of his co-stars. He had filmed almost 2/3 of his scenes from the movie. While filming a dueling scene with his friend and co-star George Sanders, which had to be repeated several times, Powers began having pains in his left arm and chest, stopping the scene. He soon lost consciousness. Actor Tyrone Power passed away soon after from a major heart attack. The studio had no choice but to replace the actor. They chose Yul Brynner. However, as a tribute to Powers, the director left in long-distance scenes of the actor. If the director had filmed the movie as they usually do, with the major players first and the crowd scenes last, then Tyrone Power would be Solomon in Solomon and Sheba instead of Yul Brynner.